Firmware for the OBDIIC&C CRZ displays coming on. That's the standard display which my UK guinea pigs have been using for now. So I'm working on the code, and I'm also looking at other options as well. So anyway, if I just show you briefly what the developments will be for the firmware, hopefully, which will be Monday. Now, a lot of this I can't test on my car because obviously I don't have a standard nickel metal hydride pack in there anymore, and various other things, but I'll just go through them. So that's the normal display you get when you turn it on. I'll just turn it off and turn it on again. Splash screen and straight to the display, and this is the refresh rate. I've turned off the stupid flashing green LED, we don't really need that. The only time you'll get a flashing LED now is a very brief flash of the red LED and accompanied by a tiny short beep, and that will indicate there's a CAN communication problem. So anyway, if we could just go through it briefly. So if you press the button in the middle, we get some different screens now, and it cycles through these screens. You just keep pressing the button in the middle and it cycles through about 4 or 5 screens now, and just goes round and round and round in a loop. So once you get onto that particular screen, then pushing the button up, down, left or right does the things that are on there. So if I press up, beeps, and it's set the SOC to 75%. So if I go to the next screen, then I haven't tested this on my car yet, but obviously this is hopefully fan control. Now it may only work temporarily, but we'll see. Anyway, that's another screen, and then we have another screen. Now this is quite important. This is the resetting the capacity to 75%, which is the maximum. So some people who've looked at their cars with an HDS or this device have seen that their usable capacity is really quite low, 30%, 26%, whatever it might be. With this, you can reset this to 75%. But you can't undo it, so you've got to be really, you've got to be careful. You've got to, if you want to try this, that's absolutely fine. And mine's set 75%, and what will happen is the car will then try to use more capacity from the pack, but it will protect itself, so you don't need to worry too much, because what will happen is if the the car is using the pack and it detects a low cell, then it will recalibrate this down as it detects low cells. But obviously you're giving it a chance to try and find if it has got any extra capacity, and certainly you should reset this after you've done a grid charge and let the car try and work out what the actual capacity of your pack has increased to. But you need to set it high first, and then it will slowly tick down depending on how good your battery is. So certainly no harm in setting it up, but if you do set it to 75%, you can't undo it. So once it's set to 75%, the car will make it go back down again slowly, but it depends on the condition of your battery. But it's certainly worth testing it. Press again in the middle, and then we've got some clear error code. So you can clear the IMA errors, and you can clear the PGMFI errors, the ECM errors, or the BCM and MCM errors. Now obviously if you clear codes, they might immediately come straight back again if they are you haven't corrected the problem. This isn't a magic bullet. Obviously you need to correct the fault, whatever it might be. You know, if you've got a ECM fault or a BCM fault, bad sensor or whatever it might be, you have to correct that. If you just clear it, it'll obviously just come straight back again if you've still got that problem present. But anyway, that's useful, and I might add the diagnostic error code display to this before Monday as well, if I get a chance to do that, and also data logging, but that's all stuff I'm trying to do over the weekend. And that's it, back to the main screen. So this just goes round and round, as I say. So if I go to this one and I try up, did you see a very brief flash of the red there? That means that's not working quite right yet. I need to just check that. But that's what you'll get if there's a communication error. You'll get like a beep and a little tiny flash of the red LED there. So that's where we're at the minute, working hard on this, the code for this. I've also now managed to get an ECM which I can use on the bench. So what will happen is I'll basically I'll have put all this on a piece of board, and basically I'll have an ECM and the MCM here, and they'll be talking to each other, connecting them both together, powered up by the same thing, and I can look at the comms between them as well, which is very helpful for the IMA CAN. It means I don't have to keep going out to the car in the freezing cold, and I can still just do all this development code work on the bench, but I'll now have an ECM as well as an MCM, and I can look at the data from both of them and work out what's going on. So that's where we are at the moment.